Alright guys, welcome back to Let's Play Tomba 2. It's me, TheBladeGamer, of course. In the last episode of Tomba 2, we cleared the second portion of the Kujara Ranch area, and in this episode we're going to enter a new area of the game, known as the Donglin Forest, which arguably has one of the best themes in the game. Now the Donglin Forest is a very interesting area. One thing you'll want to do right as you enter is try to grab this snow firefly. There is one in the Donglin Forest area, which you can get by running around in the grassy parts, at least in the first part of the stage. I'm not sure if they come back in the other two sections of the stage. But what makes Donglin Forest interesting is that it is the most platform-heavy part of the game, and it is infested, or haunted, with spirits, which makes it a very difficult place to advance in if you don't know what you're doing. Now, the pig in this area is the ghost pig. That's not that surprising. What happens with the ghost pigs is if they grab you, you turn invisible, which prevents you from using any suits or eating, unless it is a item that you have in your inventory. So, to get rid of the ghost pigs, either jump on them like you do with any pig, or hit them with any weapon once, and they will disappear for a while. So there are three spirits that you need to find in order to advance in the area. There are two on the first floor, if you want to call it that, and another over here. I'm going to hit that ghost pig to get him out of the way and grab the final spirit while I'm here. Now you may have seen on my way over here I picked up an item known as the blue fruit. And we are about to see what the blue fruit does right now.
I'm almost finished painting, but it's missing something. Of course, something blue, but the blue fruit is all gone.
What do you mean? I just brought it.
Oh, yes, that's the color I want. Thanks. You know what? Hee, I just had an inspiration.
Really? What is it?
Just watch. It will be a masterpiece. Splendid. So dynamic. So intense. It's perfect.
Tomba, are you okay?
Oh, I'm really sorry. I get so caught up in my paintings. Are you hurt? You're very kind. I was able to finish a fine painting. Thank you. Take this for your troubles.
A key to the blue treasure chest. Are you sure this is okay?
Positive. I'm not interested in treasures. Don't worry about it. Just take it. What should I draw next?
So yes, we get the blue key. Pretty much any time that you have a quest involving color, expect a key as a reward. But we only have one key left to grab, and that's a white key, obviously, because of all the white chests around. That magic juice right there, I don't know if I've collected it in the past, but what it does is when you gain access to a magic meter, it will refill your magic gauge a little bit. Now, in order to advance in the area, you need to head down here to the bottom left and hit this ghost's tongue with the hammer. Now, obviously, it is very difficult to hit the tongue. Ideally, you'll hit the tongue the tip of the tongue, I should say, as it's coming out. Like that, without getting hit. Thank you. Here, I'm gonna hit this. Oh, I knew it. See, this is what I'm talking about with this game, or with me taking a lot of damage. It just makes things very, very difficult at certain times to avoid taking damage. Like right there, for example. I mean, it's very difficult to go about doing what you want without getting hit unless you are very good at the game. Now, these ghost pigs really irritate me because I don't want to turn invisible yet. So I'm going to get this one out of the way this time as I head here. So, third time's the charm, and it gets rid of this weird looking face.
Tomba, this is the Donglin bell. People say the bell can get you back to the place where you started. With this bell, you will surely get back to the Donglin Forest.
Now this is the first of several bell, or a couple bell, several bell items, excuse me, I forgot you got more than two. Now, the interesting thing about the bells is that they have unlimited use, so they completely replace the magic wings if you want to go back to that specific area. The problem with bells, though, is that they take you to the exact point in which you receive them. So, for example, instead of going to the sign at the beginning of the Donglin Forest, I will be going back to where that ghost was. So it can also put you at a disadvantage if you need to go to where signs are. So this is the laughing, crying forest section of the Donglin Forest. Now, as you saw there, when I picked up that fruit, it put me into a state of laughing. What this does is allow me to enter laughing doors, but it removes the ability to use weapons. Now, this weird looking mushroom right here, if you whack it with a hammer, occasionally you will find that item right there, which is the rare shrimp, if I'm not mistaken. And that is one of the 4 rare items that you need to collect. Now, it can be very difficult to grab, depending on what pops up, but it can be very difficult to grab with the flying squirrel suit. I keep grabbing that. This ghost will come downward if you are underneath it. It is very cheap and very creepy looking as well. Alright, let's try this again. He keeps floating a little bit. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so now we want to head up here, and we want to grab the crying fruit and head up here to this house.
Put that away here. Whew, it looks a little better. Oh, it's a customer.
You're very talented.
Pretty useful, isn't it? If humans wanted to do the same, they couldn't without a grapple.
Grapple? Will that help us get to the hard-to-reach places?
Yes, that's right. I think a long time ago. I remember seeing it around here. I can't remember. Well, if you want it, you can look around there.
Alright, so that gives us a hint as to what we should be going for, which is the grapple. Alright, so you need the normal fruit in order to hit this peg, which will remove part of this boulder. So now we need to head back and hit the other 2 pegs in the area. One is right here, so that's very easy. And the other is right there, as you saw. So, now we want to head over here and avoid that stupid skeleton thing that keeps hitting me. And grab this item right here, which is the grapple.
You can suspend the grapple from certain kinds of ceilings. Then you swing back and forth on it and go fast enough to just fly along, suspended from ceilings as you go.
So the grapple, in my opinion, is the main item/weapon of the game. It gets you to very hard to reach places, and it acts as a weapon depending on the enemy. And generally you jump on enemies as well, so it doesn't really hurt to use the grapple instead of other weapons. Now, as you saw there, I accidentally grabbed the laughing fruit again. So, yeah. I'm just going to kind of go around collecting the treasure chests in this area, this part of the Donglin Forest. I just need a normal fruit to do that. If I can find one. Oh, there we are. Can't believe I forgot about that. Now, that door right here is almost completely useless. There are just 2 NPCs inside that will give you a hint as to a couple items you can find later on in the game. So, over here is a magic water, a fairly mediocre item. I mean, it'll get you stuff, but, you know, it's not... You don't really use magic in this game, except for, like, 2 sections of the game, I'd say. Now, pay careful attention that there is a path right there. We will be coming back to that later. So now that we have the grapple, we want to come over here and grab, come on, this treasure chest right here, which has the final pair of pants in the game, the turbo pants. It is the fastest pants in the game by far. Although I can't really seem to tell a huge speed difference between the pairs of pants, but maybe that's just because it incrementally increases as you go on. So instead of getting a crying fruit and advancing, I'm just going to use my magic wings and come to this area, which you would get to if you left the grapple guy's house. So now, we are in this section of the forest, which is very interesting. This is the probably biggest platform-inspired area of the Donglin Forest. It's just kind of... It's very, very, very difficult if you don't know what you're doing. What you want to do is let this ghost pig grab you for the first time. Well, it's not the first time I've been grabbed, but the first time I want to be grabbed. Where are you going, ghost pig? Alright, so, turn invisible, and enter this ghost sticker. We get the clear fruit, which allows us to turn visible at any time, but not invisible, as its name would imply, surprisingly. So, down here is a water plant, but you don't need it for anything. But what you can do now that you have the grapple is break the aquatic or water plants, which is part of a side quest in the game. It is very important that you break all of the aquatic plants in the game, not only to get some items that will be very useful to you, but to clear many events, well, one event in the future. Alright, so use the grapple to grab onto platforms you need. Now, these are some more barrel seesaws. What you want to do, unless you want a bonus treasure, is to pull it all the way downward. This will cause a switch mechanism to go off in that room. Now, in order to solve the puzzle, you want all of them facing the direction I pulled them down. So the back end should always be downward, and it will be very useful in the future to advance. Ouch. Okay, that was close. That will bounce you. Well, some of these acorn things will bounce you, some of them won't. It's very odd which ones do and which don't. Okay, so, as you can tell, there are many, 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 many treasure chests in the Donglin Forest area. I will not be getting all of them if they are too out of the way in order to get them. So, an example of this would be right now with these barrel seesaws. If you put them all the opposite direction, in this direction I should say, it will cause a treasure chest to appear in that switch room that we are about to head toward. The problem with this is that it makes it to where you have to switch it back if you want to advance the story, which is very time consuming, and all you get is a lunchbox. It is definitely not worth it unless you are going for 100% treasure chests and AP crystals, which I am not. Alright, so after you pull a couple of those barrel seesaws down, you want to head over here and hit this rock crab and pick it up. This is an AP chest that requires 1 million AP, so I suggest opening it when you have 1 million AP. Alright, so we're going to work our way back around and head up to the final barrel seesaw in the area to grab, to open up the switch. Okay, I'm tired of these ghost pigs. They're very, very annoying right now. Okay, so now we can work our way up. Final switch that you need to grab. And that fixes the switch to where you can advance to the next town. Right over here. Hold on, let me grab this. Is a healthy lunch. But right here is a little potato bug. Now, the interesting thing about this potato bug is he will help you out on a quest. Obviously, everything in this game is about quests. Now, he will follow Tomba no matter where he goes. And you want to work him all the way down to the spiky area. Now be careful when you're jumping, because when you're going downward it is almost impossible to avoid getting hit by those spikes. Now if you wanted to remove the spiky platform so that you could change the barrel seesaw the other direction, just hit that axe looking thing right there, and it will fix it for you. So do that. Hold on, gotta go grab the potato bug before he runs back upward. If you do that, you can change the direction of the barrel seesaw. So the potato bug gets to the end and lands on this leaf. If you jump on him, you get to take him for a ride. Luckily, it's not like the Zora King in Zelda where you have to watch him waddle all the way there. You just have to wait till the cutscene skips. And then here will be Charles, trapped in some leaves.
Charles? What are you doing in there?
I'm all wrapped up in these leaves, and I can't...
Huh? Tomba, can't you do something? Ah, a caterpillar.
Thanks a lot. You saved me again. All right. I'll give you one of the treasures I found.
A treasure?
Here it is. This is it. This item is just the ticket. It's a super item that will double your strength.
You did it, Tomba.
Actually, some old codger asked me to give this to Tomba. So it's all yours.
Yes. So this fruit increases your vitality from 8, the maximum of 8 to 16. Now, it will not increase your vitality unless you have stored half pots of life because you've collected a bunch of them, or or until you start collecting half pots of life to increase it past 8. Okay, good thing I didn't fall there, because if you hit the spikes, you go back to the beginning of the area no matter what. It's very annoying. Okay. Alright, watch. See, you go all the way here. Which is very, 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 very annoying. Especially when you're trying to get that AP chest, and you get all the way there, and it takes you back to the beginning. It irks me so much sometimes. Alright, so we've pretty much cleared the Donglin area as far as getting through the area. But, as always, we're going to have to come back later to clear some events and get some quests done. Alright, so what we want to do is head back up here and hover to the left and enter this treasure house. Alright, so this area is known as the treasure house. Now, like I said, if you pull all of the switches or barrel seesaws in the direction that I have them pulled, which is facing the front, you will have access to the top portion of this house, which is used to get to the next town. If you pull it the opposite direction, you will have access to a room over here, which gives you a blue treasure chest which has a lunchbox, which in my opinion is extremely not worth your time. Alright, so let's head over here and see what's bothering him.
There's so many ghosts here, I can't take it anymore!
This is an amazing number of ghosts. What's going on?
Well, do you see that book there? That's the treasure of the forest. It's the evil pink book. The ghosts are after it!
Can't we get rid of them somehow?
I thought if I read the evil pink book, I could do something. But one of the rock crabs that used the contraption seems to have gotten away.
Oh, I get it. If one more rock crab is placed on the scale, the weights on both sides will be the same, and the contraption will go on.
That's it! That's the rock crab! Hurry and put it on the scale!
It's no good, Tomba. This book has too many hard words. I can't read it. Oh no! What are we gonna do, Tomba? Kynan, watch out!
Oh my, there's a lot of them here. Be gone. Maybe I overdid it a little. This book also has a hidden pig bag. Here, this is yours.
And we get the ghost pig bag.
Oh, thank you very much.
Let's see. This book is too difficult for you. I'll study it for you. Maybe the next time we meet, I'll know a little more.
Excuse me. Where did this hole lead to?
The circus town, or should I say, pig town.
Pigtown?
You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it.
Tomba, who is this Kynan?
At this point of the game, I was curious and thought, you know, Kynan's a very interesting character. Not only is he a nice old man, but at this point, he blasts away tons of ghosts, or one giant ghost, with very little struggle. I thought, when I was younger, that Kynan would be the final evil pig disguised as a human, taking advantage of Tomba in order to fulfill his plan. But that's simply not the case. He's exactly how he appears to be on the surface. A kind old man helping Tomba along the way.